Hello beautiful people, welcome to my channel. My name is Teresa and I'm your cruise director on the Magical Mystery Tour. Today we're using a heap of new products. Some are new, some are new to me. So before we get to that, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell to be alerted to any new uploads, and if you like this video at the end, please give it a big thumbs up. We've got a few different things here. As I said, we've got a few new things. I've got some Morphe products. I've got some Nude by Nature. Got a Fenty powder, but we're starting with the Nude by Nature Mineral Serum Glow Drops in Pearl. I have not tried these. I'm not sure. Oh my God, super runny. Like, very watery. So I'm just getting straight into it. These are the lighter of the two shades. There is quite a bronzy one. This won't. Nude by Nature, please take this strong floral scent out of your products. There's a few other base products that they have that I quite like, except for this scent. And it's not like it dissipates super quickly. It gets right up your nose for a bit. Okay, that's a juice. Oh, far out. That's a juicy product. That doesn't give you, if you're a pasty girl like me, I'm not a big lover of bronzing drops for a reason, and that is that I just tend to look like I've rolled around in the mud when you are this pale, which is why I tend to lean to just illuminating drops, which are that more goldy colour. But this is not bad. And as it's drying down, that scent is not dissipating, which makes me really nervous for the fact that I am about to use another product of theirs. This is the Skin Radiance foundation. I'm using the shade Golden Ivory, which is either the lightest or the second lightest shade that they have. Let's see. Get a few pumps out. Come on. Aha. Just took a bit. That's sort of 2 pumps. That feels, for a radiant foundation, she's thick. So I'll start with a sponge and see how we go. Okay. It's not a huge amount of coverage, it doesn't feel like. This says it's a non-whitening, hydrating formula with buildable medium coverage and a dewy, radiant finish. I've just had to pump 4 times to get that out. Like, one pump came out with that huge big bit and 3 more pumps to get that. I am going to go into a brush. Let's see how we go. This is quite thick, but I am going to load up the brush and prime it so that it's working in. All right. Back to the sponge. I think it's giving it a better coverage. It's not what I'm expecting. It's so thick. It's so thick that but when you start to pounce it onto your face, it doesn't feel thick. This is perplexing. Like, it goes onto your face. How it looks on your face is like a skin tint, but the product feels like a really thick full coverage product, which is weird, right? I'm so confused by this. It is definitely a radiant coverage, but I feel like I'm really having to work to get there. Yeah, it feels like a thick full coverage. Feels like it should be thick full coverage matte. But it looks like a glowy, dewy skin tint serum. What the hell? This is not new. This is the True Match, I think. Can't read it. The L'Oreal Go That Way True Match Concealer. I really do like this doe foot on this. It's one of the best doe foots on a product that I have tried. That foundation. What the hell, what the hell, what the hell? Okay, just stamping that out under the eye. I don't know what the weather is doing where you are, but here in Tasmania, 6 weeks into spring, I'm just putting on my MAC paint pot, 6 weeks into spring, and we have had snow on the mountain this week. We have had damaging stormy weather, and it's probably the worst spring we've ever had in my memory. Extreme weather warnings over the last few days. It's currently a bit of sunshine outside but raining, and it's very windy, and it's probably the best day we've had all week. So if you hear the wind and the rain, just what I'm dealing with. Now, I hesitate to set this because it's really going to get rid of the glow with the product that I'm about to try, which I have used a few times and I'm not a huge fan, but I want to keep giving it a go. This is the Fenty Beauty Set It Down Blurring Loose Powder. I am using the shade Strawberry Milk. I just don't think that this is probably suited to my skin type. I think this is more for an oily skinned person as opposed to pretty stock standard normal dry. Stock standard normal dry. My skin's pretty normal. Okay, I've worked that powder in, but what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do my usual set. I'm just going to do this T-zone area because of how it has been looking. It's just been drying my skin out when I've been using it. I do believe it's talc free. And I'll just set my eye primer here. Rest of the face I'm going to leave for now. It is blurring. I don't think it's suitable for all skin types. That being said, it is not bad, but again, not all skin types. I am just going to put a bit of, this is not new, just a little bit of gel in my brow before I come back to put a new brow product through it. But while we're waiting on that, let's get, I don't know if I've used this in a video. I have used it a few times. I just don't think in a video on here. This is the Catrice Melted Sun Liquid Bronzer. Going in. If you are not particularly great with bronzer, maybe have I used this? This is not super pigmented. It's quite a watery wash is what I want to say. So if you're nervous about bronzer, if you are used to bronzers being quite warm toned and want something cooler toned, this shade, which I'm not sure what it is, and I do believe now that I'm saying this that I have used it in another video. It will be listed down below. And the reason that I say that is I do remember looking it up online to get the correct colouring. So I think I've used it in a video. That's the problem when you've got so many that you don't know what you have and haven't used. But as you can see, it's not intense. And it just blends out easily. So if you are a pasty girl, if you are nervous about using a product, or if you just want something that is a bit more cool toned, this could be for you. Blush, we have another Nude by Nature product. This is the glowy blush serum drops. This is the shade Warm Rose, so very similar to, it's funny how one brand does something and then everyone's using the same components. This Morphe has this. I think there's a few others that have it. Certainly if I went and opened my drawer, I would see some, but certain componentry just starts to take off. I've just put a couple of drops onto my tray, but I've put one on the back of my hand. Let's see. That's more probably brick rose than I thought. Let's hope it works with what I plan on putting on my face in a minute. Right, I've just dropped my brush straight onto that. Working that in. Okay, let's go. So again, this is like that Catrice. This is, because it's a serum blush, it's more like a light wash of colour, and I'm really pleased I didn't set this foundation down now with powder, just to keep it sort of light with how it's looking. Obviously, looking at that, we are quite pigmented. Just tapping over the edge there, nothing else on my foundation brush, but just using the excess foundation to tone that down a little bit. And certainly once I set, that will happen too. Like once I spray my face. That's quite nice. Quite nice. I have, where did that go? The L'Oreal Faux Brown. Now this only came in a light brown and a dark brown where I was at. Give it a shake. It is a two-pronged felt tip. Now I picked up something like this that I quite liked off Temu. Oh yeah, this is good. It will be one of those products that you have to store upside down. Turn that over for this side. It's always harder for me doing the opposite side because I am a lefty. I really like that. That's probably one of the nicer pens that I have used, for sure. Supernatural Brows. Okay, I did pick up the limited edition Morphe Naughty Palette. For someone who said that they weren't picking up these types of palettes after trying one, I now have 2 this size, and I think I have 4 or 5 of the smaller ones. Also, can we just talk about how much this looks like a Natasha Denona palette for a second? It does come with something to help you out. Ooh, the shades are quite nice. They lean cooler than I thought they were going to. So, going in with this shade here, definitely cooler than I thought. Looking straight ahead. I didn't even really, I just had a quick glance at it and just went, yeah, I'll grab that. Ooh, I like that shade. This feels like immediately it could be better quality than the small ones. I don't know if I've done anything with the larger palette, the other larger palette that I've got, because I don't recall. This quality's good. This quality's really good. I say, having used only one shade. But look at that. Oh, I like that. I like that. Let's see what happens when we try to add some depth to it. I'm going to go in. Let me just go into this pink. I don't know what's going to happen here. Bring this under. See, even that. Right. And is blending itself. Like, this is a real easy blend. Okay. Going into this light flesh colour. Just to bring up the top here. But can you see this is quick? I am going to add a bit of depth. I don't need to, because I actually think that I could just bring this down into the corner, like the mix of those 2 shades. But for the sake of this, let's add, that's a lot of depth there. One of the things that I complain about with some of these palettes that they have is that they're lacking depth. So, clean the brush off now. I'm ready to start the blend. Pulling that over, looking straight ahead so I can see some of that. Clean off the brush again. Oh. All right. Let's. Okay. I am super impressed. How easy is that? Going back over again, you know the drill, we go in a couple of times. Over there, just gently. Over there. Back to this. And we're just finessing that blend. And that's so super simple. That, I would say, is the easiest blend I've had of a Morphe palette in I don't know how long. let's have a look now at some of these shimmers. Okay. This one feels drier than this pink, as does this one. That feels more like a topper, and that actually feels like it's going to hard pan really quickly. So they look like more like toppers, right? I am going to go into this one. Oh, that's nice. Again, into that. That's a really nice taupe. Oh, in America, taupe. I didn't put my finger in this one, I don't think. Alright, that's nice too. Okay, this one can go across. I am going to pull in that pink in a second. Now let's go into this one next to it, over the top, because let's just slap it all on, shall we? And then that pink, using my little finger and tucking that just in that little third there. Oh yeah. Just going into this right on the inner corner. Just literally over where our little inner corner hairs grow. And if you don't have them, if you think you don't have them, you're lying to yourself. I just had to pluck mine yesterday. Like the hairy heathen that I am. Underneath the eye, what are we going to do? Let's tap into this pink, but also tap into that, so we're really cooling it down. And again, can you hear jelly? So it's really toned that shade down. I am just grabbing a clean brush, nothing on it, to fluff that out and soften it. Guys, I'm really impressed with that. That might be my favourite Morphe palette in a long time. That's so easy to work with. But yeah, this wave, I mean, come on. Now, I really like that. I've got the NARS, what's it called? The NARS Light Reflecting Illuminizing Powder in Heavenly. This is Heavenly. This is another one I may have used on here. Let's just add a little bit of a glow. Look at that. It is a luminizer, so it's going to just give, it's giving a glow and reflection without sparkle. Look. I thought this was too much when I got it, but I'm really liking it. I did pick up some of their pencils and their matte. I don't know where that is. I did just go and grab it. That's the shade Petal. It's floating around this mess of a room somewhere. But yesterday I did pick up more of it. I think a rosy based one. Now when I said I picked up a few, do I love a Morphe pencil? Why, yes I do. I stocked up when they went off the market with them. Now, do any of these shades That looks like it's going to be too, that's going to be too orange. This is the shade Spiffy. Might be a bit too brown leaning, but we can work with it. I have said this before, I like a wooden clutch pencil. These, the Kylie Home Beauty MAC Makeup Forever, they're the sort of pencil I like. These ones lean a lot creamier than normal. This wooden clutch can be a bit drier. This is not. This is the shade Dearest, as I said, in their matte. This, I liked it so much, the one that I tried. This feels weighty and expensive. I went back and picked up this shade. All the shades that I wanted had sold out. So I had to get what I could. And for a matte, this is really creamy, really creamy. I am going to, actually, what have I got here? I'm going to set down with the Tear setting spray. I don't mind this. It's not my favourite, but it is quite good. It does have a slight scent to it, so just be aware of that. I need to fan down my face. This desk is chaos, as I said. New fan, how pretty. Let me just put some mascara on. I don't have anything new. I have been using the new Rimmel Thrill Seeker in the big fat red wand. It's just sitting over in another tub at the moment from a video that I've already done. So I am using the Colossal Bubble mascara. I'll be right back. Okay, so the finished face. What do we think? Going through it. Can you hear that? That's super runny. Just be aware of that. It does give a nice juicy glow. I think this is really good for the base underneath. But this is so much trouble. Not only the scent like the drops have, but I'm still confused by it. A super thick product that comes off so sheer. Got to get my head around that. I think there are better products on the market that do what you want. If you want this sort of lightweight look, there's heaps better products on the market. Speaking of lightweight, the Catrice Melted Sun Drops, Melted Sun Liquid Bronzer. It's not an intense bronzer. It is very sheer. It is cool tones. So if that's your jam, you're going to like that. These come in this shade. I think there's three. There is a coral and then a softer, more pink. These are nice. Lightweight. Feels like nothing on your skin. I'm really happy with how the powder's looking here, and I think this is, for me, the Fenty powder is going to be just a T-zone powder. If you are oily though, I think this will really blur you and it will set down your makeup, and I think that you will like it. I've got the strawberry milk and I've got the banana shade that was sent to me in PR. They're talc free, and we're leaning towards talc free now, so I've just got to play with that a bit more. Jury's out on it. I do really like the NARS Luminizer. I think that's a really lovely product. Morphe has come back strong this year. This is so Natasha Denona, but it's a beautiful palette. This is probably my favourite palette from them in the last few years, to be honest. And I've picked up quite a few of them. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. The lips. There is absolutely get yourself some of their lip liners if you do not have any. These are a really nice matte, but creamy matte lipstick. The TT setting powder, setting found mist. Oh, and this, the L'Oreal Faux Brow. I like that. I'm going to add a little bit more. Let's hope I don't mess myself up. This is such a great product for doing really fine natural brush strokes. There is nothing coming out of there now because I had it stored the wrong way for a second. Let me... Look at that. That's a great, great brow product. I really like that. What do you think about this eyeshadow palette? I think she's really nice. Let me know if you've picked this up. If you are thinking about picking this up, I'd say do it. This is a shade story, like the color story on this should work for a lot of people, and it's leaning more cool. I know a couple of people that are in some groups, Louisa, I'm looking at you, that I think would really like this. Until next time, don't forget to tell your mum, tell your sister, tell your friends, all that jazz. Come along, hang out, subscribe. It's lunchtime where I am. The wind's settled. I'm going to go get something to eat. Take care, my loves. Bye. Mwah.